From the station working for you, this is WRTV News at 11, streaming now.
Now on WRTV, a jubilant scene. Fireworks light up the skies over Wilmington, Delaware, as that state's favorite son savors a history-making victory with his family by his side. Indianapolis, one of several American cities that saw Joe Biden supporters take to the streets in celebration, but not everyone shared that enthusiasm. Thanks for staying up late with us tonight. I'm Nicole Griffin. We begin with the historic presidential election. After days of anxiously waiting for results, Americans now have their answer. And tonight we heard from President-elect Joe Biden and running mate Kamala Harris. ABC's Rena Roy is in Wilmington, Delaware from the Biden headquarters tonight with more.
The energy here tonight was palpable. Supporters were cheering and honking in their cars as they heard from President-elect Joe Biden and Kamala Harris for the first time after their big win.
The next chapter in U.S. history off with a bang. The crowd at the Biden election headquarters going wild as Joe Biden and Kamala Harris took the stage.
It is now my great honor to introduce the President-elect of the United States of America, Joe Biden.
Addressing Americans for the first time as winners after a contentious battle for the White House with nail-biting numbers in a 5-day counting process. Biden calling for unity in this divided nation that has been facing civil unrest and a relentless pandemic for much of 2020.
I pledge to be a president who seeks not to divide, but unify. Who doesn't see red states and blue states, only sees the United States. The Bible tells us, to everything there is a season, a time to build, a time to reap and a time to sow, and a time to heal. This is the time to heal in America.
Harris making history as the first female vice president-elect, also a woman of color and daughter of Jamaican and Indian immigrants.
While I may be the first woman in this office, I will not be the last.
Their acceptance speech came after a day of celebrations in several cities across the country. President Trump was golfing as the news came in earlier, on Twitter falsely saying he actually won the election, pushing the baseless claim that observers were not allowed to watch ballot counters. Trump's legal team vowing to challenge the election results.
And Biden is eager to get to work, saying it is time for America to heal and move forward. Rena Roy, ABC News, Wilmington, Delaware.
Rena, thank you. Hoosiers are still processing election results. Earlier today, Trump supporters gathered at the State House while Biden-Harris supporters circled Monument Circle. WRTV's Troy Washington shows us how Hoosiers are reacting to Joe Biden becoming the next U.S. president-elect.
Saw the people, heard the horns honking, and just thought, wow, let me go over there and give a, good going. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? Praise God.
That's how most people say they ended up here at Monument Circle. It was word of mouth that brought out this crowd to downtown to celebrate Joe Biden as the next president-elect.
It's more about the love and the peace in America than it is about the division in which they tried to create, in which they were creating, honestly, and over the last 4 years. They almost tore our country down in 4 years.
Cartwheels in the street. We turning cartwheels in the street, baby. We did it.
For some, the excitement of the election is overwhelming, especially considering the history that has been made through Kamala Harris, the first woman of color becoming the vice president-elect.
Turned the news on and, jumped around my apartment ecstatically, scared the heck out of my cats.
Because I was down here first today. I hope a lot of veterans take satisfaction that we're going to get back on track.
But not everyone shares that enthusiasm.
I support Trump. I want to stand by him, and also I'm against the election fraud.
At the State House, Trump supporters were out upset because they are claiming election fraud and won't believe today's results just yet. They say if it turns out the election was fair, they'll accept the outcome.
I don't like the man. I've never liked the man, but I will respect the office of the president because I think that's what good patriots do.
Working for you downtown, Troy Washington, WRTV.
Troy, thank you. Now let's dig in deeper to the Biden-Harris win. Tonight, our Rafael Sanchez talks with our political insiders about a female first and presidential politics.
We have a president-elect, But President Trump says he will not recognize Joe Biden as a president-elect. What do you say, Megan Robertson?
I think we can all see by the numbers that those recounts aren't going to yield anything. And furthermore, they haven't put out anything specific as to what they are challenging. And so, if they, again, I've said it a couple times, if they can't come up with something specific, they need to move on, and we need to all move forward as a country.
There's nowhere in the Constitution that says the president concedes the election. It's over. The numbers are there. And Megan's exactly right. You can do recounts. You can do all of those things, and you may be very well within your rights to do that. But the problem is that the number margin is just insurmountable, and they're not going to find those votes.
Kamala Harris making history on this Saturday. The VP-elect, who happens to be a woman, who happens to be biracial. What does this all mean in American history?
We should really be proud that we are a nation of diversity. And frankly, that diversity just makes us stronger. We still have miles and miles and miles to go. And no one is going to rest on their laurels. But taking a minute to savor this, I think, is really important for all of us.
I even saw a Republican woman posting that you could hear the glass ceiling shattering, and that it's exciting, even if we don't agree on policy things all the time. And I think that's true for most folks. So I think it's really exciting. It's great that little girls across the country can see that this is something that they can do, and I think it's good for us.
Our political insiders, thank you so much. And our Democracy 2020 coverage continues right now on WRTV.com.
Raphael, thank you. Tonight, the president at Ball State University says officers will be positioned at the entry points to campus after he says recent incidents have left students feeling unsettled and unsafe. President Jeffrey Mern says he knows tensions are heightened in our country. On Friday night, videos were posted to social media showing several trucks driving through campus, some flying American flags, and at least one had a President Trump flag. WRTV does not have permission to show these videos from the original source, but our digital team has watched them and reports one showing a person filming students saying, "Look at these Biden lovers." President Mern says the incidents this week have involved people from outside of the campus community. In a letter, he says, quote, "Although these agitators have not displayed any weapons, they are harassing and trying to provoke our students." He goes on to say, "While I respect every person's First Amendment rights, I unequivocally condemn anyone's attempt to intimidate or threaten someone else." He urges students to contact campus police if they feel unsafe. You can read the full statement and reaction from campus groups on our WRTV News app. Now to our continuing coverage of the coronavirus and its impacts on Indiana. We have a record number of new COVID-19 cases for the fourth consecutive day. The State Department of Health reports 5,007 new cases. 43 more Hoosiers have died with COVID-19, bringing the total number of deaths to 4,348. Since March, more than 205,000 Hoosiers have tested positive for the virus. More than 3 million tests have been administered in Indiana. This letter just went out to parents of New Palestine High School, parents telling them that the school will switch to virtual learning effective immediately. This comes after administrators received a notification of 6 positive COVID-19 tests for students and staff at the school. The superintendent says contact tracing has been completed and all families involved have been notified. For now, the plan is to stay virtual until at least November 30th. Now to your forecast, meteorologist Kyle Mount is standing by joining us now. And Kyle, what a nice Saturday, a great day to get outside.
Yeah, beautiful day here as we are early into November, but Nicole, it's feeling a little more like May out there. Close to a record this afternoon. We made it to 73 in Indianapolis. There's the record, just 3 degrees higher than that at 76, and it is a long-standing one back to 1915 for us. We got a couple more chances at some records, though, as we go through the next few days. 57 degrees right now with those clear skies. That's our average high for this time of year. So we're cooling down, but it's not going to get overly cold tonight. Temperatures right now are a little bit cooler as we look around Bloomington and Columbus. The upper 40s right now, 46 in Richmond. Pretty much everyone else, though, holding on to the 50s, 50 degrees in Greencastle. High pressure, this continues to be the influencer of our weather throughout the weekend. That's keeping us nice and quiet with that light south wind. So as you head out the door tomorrow morning, temperatures will start off in in the lower 50s, already the 60s there for us by mid-morning. We'll talk about the near-record warmth coming our way for our Sunday in just a few minutes.
All right, Kyle, thank you. A silver alert for a missing 96-year-old man from Morgan County has now been canceled. The sheriff's department had been looking for Victor Sichting since he disappeared from Martinsville on Friday. Late this evening, we received word that the search was over, but no further details were provided. There are now 50 active safe haven baby boxes in the United States. The 50th box went live today in Muncie at Fire Station number 1 on Jackson Street. Today's celebration featured 2 babies that were surrendered under Indiana's safe haven law. The law allows a person to surrender a healthy newborn 30 days old or younger without fear of criminal prosecution. Indiana leads the nation in the number of baby boxes, 46 out of 50. Tonight, a couple on the north side is safe but not able to return to their home after their house caught on fire in the middle of the night. Indianapolis firefighters responded to the home on East 91st Street near the Monon Trail around 3:45 this morning. The couple, who was asleep at the time, was woken up by their dogs. The fire started on the deck in the back of the home and spread the length of the deck, fueled by a large amount of split wood underneath. According to investigators tonight, IFD says the couple and their pets were not injured, but the home has significant damage. Fire investigators are still working to figure out what exactly caused the fire. Farmers and local business owners are back to work at the Indy Winter Farmers Market. This after the market was forced to close early back in the spring due to the pandemic. There are new COVID-19 precautions in place now. The first hour every Saturday is reserved for people 65 and older or people who are immune compromised. Masks and social distancing is required at the Circle City Industrial Complex. The Indy Winter Farmers Market is hosted by Growing Places Indy. That's a nonprofit on the Near East Side that focuses on wellness through urban agriculture and access to fresh local food.
Not only do you get to actually talk to the farmers who actually grew your food in the city that you live in, but you actually know where it came from. When you go to the grocery store, you don't know how long tomatoes traveled to get here or where they came from and how many hands actually touched the produce. We have a triple SNAP program, so we know with COVID, there's been an increase in people using SNAP cards, and formerly known as food stamps. So if you come to the market and you swipe your card for $20, we'll match that $40. So you'll have a total of $60 to shop with.
The farmers market is open every Saturday from 9 a.m. until 12:30 p.m. until April 24th. If you're raking leaves this weekend, the city is ready to take them off your hands. Coming up, what you should know to make the process easy for everyone. The contentious environment surrounding the election is having some ripple effects, one of which is the impact on holiday shopping. Yes, there is a connection. Alicia Nieves looks at what's happening right now.
2020 has been one of the toughest years for retail brick and mortar. First, the pandemic forced closures. Now, as holiday shopping started to ramp up,
consumers not knowing how to react have hit the pause button on their spending.
The contentious presidential election has become a significant distraction for shoppers.
The risk and uncertainty tied to civil unrest and the randomness of it at times is really going to dampen consumers' interest in going into those locations. And that really takes the momentum out of what was a close recovery to traditional shopping patterns.
Between the pandemic, the election, it just doesn't feel like it's going to be a jolly old Christmas this year.
Mark Cohen, the director of retail studies at Columbia University, says consumers need some tranquility or calmness to spend and some excitement to spend the way they would normally for the holidays.
We've got a society of highly anxious, insecure, emotional, battered consumers.
Some, though, like John Copeland with Adobe Analytics, caution against full doom and gloom around holiday shopping this year.
Typically, the day after an election, consumers slow their shopping a little bit.
Adobe Analytics data shows in 2016, consumer spending dropped 14% after the election. In the 2018 midterms, it dropped around 6%. So far, the day after this election, the drop was around 12%. But as the protests and legal battles over the election continue, experts say even fewer people will want to spend their money on shopping. If that happens, Copeland expects retailers will respond by
Retailers will do more of what we're already expecting them to do, and that is pull their discounts and their deals sooner into the season.
That will be a win for shoppers and the only way some retailers can survive. I'm Alicia Nieves reporting.
Alicia, thank you. Well, they've been falling for weeks. Now the city of Indianapolis is ready to start picking up all the leaves you've been raking, blowing, bagging, and setting out near the curb. Starting Monday, DPW crews will pick up 40 bags of leaves from your house on your weekly trash day through Friday, December 4th. They would like you to put the leaves in plastic bags because paper bags deteriorate and break apart in wet weather. Keep the bags at least 3 feet away from your regular trash. This is the best way to get rid of your leaves. It is illegal to burn them in Marion County. And if you haven't raked yet, Kyle, it looks like a perfect weekend to get out and work in the yard.
Yeah, you got great temperatures, sunshine, and not a whole lot of wind. So that is a winning combination. And maybe after you rake those leaves, you're heading off to the Colts game here. We got a winning forecast. Temperatures, if you're doing a little bit of tailgating, 11 a.m. we're already into the middle 60s with sunny skies, 74 around kickoff there, that light southeast wind. And as we get to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, about 76 with sunny skies. Out there this evening, all you needed was that jacket. Haven't really had to layer up at all this weekend. And we will continue with that theme of some cool overnights and mild afternoons. It's 48 degrees in Kokomo. A little bit warmer, though, as we work our way down to the south. We got temperatures kind of fluctuating a little bit here. 56 for you in the Shelbyville area. Temperatures tonight, lower 50s, even a couple of upper 40s out there. Peru and Richmond at 49 degrees. But those numbers, they take off quickly here. We are at 62 degrees at 10 a.m., 70 already at noon, and we'll get into the middle 70s. Again, sunny skies for us. Not going to have to worry about any rain clouds across central Indiana for our Sunday, and temperatures will actually approach 80 degrees around Bloomington and Columbus Sunday afternoon, 77 in Lafayette and 76 in Muncie. Forecasting 76 degrees in Indianapolis. That also happens to be the record Sunday and Monday. And as we go into Tuesday, forecasting 75 for the high. The record is also 75 degrees. So we're looking at tying or breaking some records here over the next 3 days. Then as we get into Tuesday night, front's going to be moving through. That will bring in the chance for rain, possibly a couple of thunderstorms, and that will certainly knock down those temperatures a little bit for us. But notice that that rain's going to be out of here pretty quickly. So we haven't seen much rainfall here in the early month of November. It doesn't look like we'll have a whole lot with that. Things are active still in the tropics. We've got Tropical Storm Eta down here that is swirling, going to be making landfall across Cuba overnight tonight. You can see some of the rain moving into Florida. Then this thing's really just going to kind of hang out in the Gulf of Mexico for much of the week ahead. Doesn't look like it's going to have an impact, though, on central Indiana. Our weather looking spectacular here through Tuesday. As we get into Tuesday night, that chance for some rain, and that brings down our temperatures by about 20 degrees on Wednesday afternoon to 55, and we'll hold highs around 60 into next weekend.
All right, looking forward to it. Thank you so much, Kyle. It is now 8 months since pandemic panic buying cleared store shelves of cleaning products. Many of them are now back, but now many other items are impossible to find. Consumer reporter John Matarese looks into the latest product shortages so you don't waste your money.
It was way back in March when cleaning supplies started disappearing during the initial pandemic panic. But now, months later, many items are still in short supply. Remember the run on toilet paper? Now stores seem to have too much, but shoppers remain frustrated by other shortages.
Sometimes bleach, paper towels.
Well, that's it. The Clorox wipes we couldn't find.
So our list of the top products still in short supply begins with 1, Lysol and Clorox wipes and other bathroom cleaners. With hospitals and schools snapping them up, grocery shoppers will be the last to get them for a while. 2, paper towels. The Wall Street Journal says manufacturers have not increased production as they have for toilet paper. 3, bicycles. Shopper Beth Tessler was stunned to find bikes sold out from Target to independent shops.
The cheapest bike we found right now is like $2,000.
Store manager Terry Powell says unless you want a kiddie bike, you may have to wait.
Demand has been through the roof this year, and a lot of people pulling old bikes out of barns, garages, and trying to get those fixed up.
4, appliances. When it comes to appliances, things are not as tough as finding a bicycle, but still, if you're looking for a specific French door fridge with 2 drawers inside and water in the door, you just might have to settle for something else.
It started with freezers, and it's gradually gotten in any appliance category, so a microwave, range, anything.
Jeffrey Boggs blames plant shutdowns and shipping delays, but expects supplies to rebound by winter. 5, swimming pools. Stay-at-home orders had homeowners grabbing every pool in sight. They hope to restock this winter. 6, laptops for online learning. Stores predict shortages should ease, though, by Black Friday. And 7, coins. People have been hoarding and not spending them, a real problem for laundromats.
Our customers use quarters to run these machines.
And with more people growing their own vegetables and baking, that's led to shortages of 8, yeast and baking flour, and 9, an uncanny shortage of canning jars and lids. Finally, aluminum cans for beer and Coke because we're drinking at home instead of in bars. Brewmaster Scott LaFollette says can prices are going up.
And if we can't get the cans, then we can't put anything out.
That's why you might be seeing more bottles and fewer cans in the beer aisle this fall, so always don't waste your money. I'm John Matteries, WRTV.
Sunday looks like it will be perfect for the Colts game. The Baltimore Ravens coming to town. It's a chance for fans here to see one of the league's dynamic young stars. Brad Brown shows us how the Colts are getting ready to see where they stand at the season's midway point.
One final workout before their biggest test of the season.
One that's always stood held pretty tight. That's hard to overcome is turnovers. So, and you look at the 2 games we've lost. Those are the 2 games we turned it over the most and couldn't overcome them.
The Colts defense will have many eyes on it this weekend. They have performed as perhaps the league's best D for the first half of the season. But now they face Ravens QB Lamar Jackson, a player who can seemingly do anything on any play.
I think, just more so just playing smart. It is not, you can't play to make a play, you know what I'm saying? You just got to play to do your job. And, as long as everyone do that, I mean, that's the name of the game. Because once you go out and try to make a play and you want to do something that's not really your job, that's when things go south.
Phillip Rivers connected with 11 different receivers in last Sunday's win. T.Y. Hilton has gone from being a number 1 option to one of many.
It's easier for us. You can't just concentrate on one guy, whether it's first down, second down, or third down. So, we got a lot of playmakers in. That's how you build great teams. Once you get the ball moving, they can't key on one guy or key on how to stop 2 guys. So we got multiple guys that can make plays, and it can make us better and dangerous.
It's the first of 4 straight games against playoff level and division title contender teams. The Colts will find out where they stand with 8 games still ahead of them. After Sunday's game, it's a short turnaround to Thursday night in Tennessee. Brad Brown, WRTV Sports.
The CrossFit community from Muncie all the way down to Bloomington is helping raise critical dollars for people with type 1 diabetes. Without sports to broadcast for the last few months, Joel Godet, the voice of the Ball State Cardinals, launched Type 1 Takedown. Godet was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes back in January. 275 members at 22 different gyms took part in a workout fundraiser today, raising $9,000.
Joel was very passionate about it all, so I fed off his passion, and he did a lot of the groundwork in order to make this happen, and we ended up having a very successful fundraiser this Saturday.
I'm a broadcaster by trade. I'm not a salesperson. I don't do well asking of others for things like this, so this has all been new for me. To put this together and see the community bond together and raise almost 10 grand to help people afford insulin pumps, insulin, glucose monitors, things that are life or death for people that have this disorder, it's awesome.
Well, it is not too late to donate. Just go to type1takedown.com. The goal is to get to $10,000 by the end of the weekend, and the money is donated to a local charity based out of Carmel. When President-elect Joe Biden moves into the White House, some 4-legged friends will join him. His first family includes his fur family. He and his wife have 2 German Shepherds named Major and Champ. The Bidens fostered Major before adopting him from the Delaware Humane Society in 2018. They bring back the tradition of first pet in the White House. Kyle.
Some great dog walking weather around here tomorrow. We're going to have lots of sunshine, those temperatures in the middle 70s. That's actually going to last through Tuesday before it cools down just a little bit.
All right, Kyle, thank you. And thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Have a great night.